I was saying yesterday, please, I was saying yesterday to some friends, I say, sometimes the people are speaking and they seem so convinced about something that's happening, and I'm listening. I said, oh my God, look at that. You're so convinced. If you weren't so convinced, you'd be free.
I know that I'm still in a state of duality, that I'm still reacting to my wife and other.
Yeah, they want you to put the microphone like this.
I know I'm still in a state of duality, even though because I'm still reacting to my wife and the yardie-dahs a little, but although I'm swimming around in the I am.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful that you just clarified that I was putting expectations on the I am, thinking if I do that half the day something's... So now I feel very relaxed about that. But in this in-between state, what is free will? Is there free will going on in this state, or is free will gone?
Okay. I'll back up a little bit also, because you say that I know I'm still in the realm of duality, because I still see that reactions are happening to some actions, and some reactions are taking place and so on. But don't bind yourself to this. As long as this body is here, and the vital force, the breath, is inside the body, and consciousness is present, some activity is going to be happening, no? Thought activity will come. They will come. That does not mean anything at all in itself. The most important thing is that you don't identify yourself as being the doer of actions. You remain only that all of this is taking place, the actions and reactions, interactions are occurring in your presence as awareness. You don't have to identify. You cannot say, because some people, they feel no thought should come. No. The thoughts come, but they lose their potency and their significance. They become more superficial, lighter, not so consequential. It's not grave. Some people, when they speak, and it's like the thoughts are like, my God, that one is so heavy, my God, and this one, this one is light, we like this one, and this one, this one is very heavy. It's like so much is put into it. So much I believe is into the thought that it exceeds all proportion. Originally, all the thoughts are equal in weightlessness. You're identifying with them, your belief in them give them weight and power. They have no other place to derive power from them, for themselves. As I said, no thought is self-employed. No emotion is self-employed. A thought is not thinking itself. It's not thinking, I'm going to attack him today. It just arises and something reaches for it out of habit. There's nothing personal about it. So when this activity come, like you speak about it, actions, reactions happen, be gentle and kind about it. It doesn't signify that you're in duality. Something, the idea we have of who we are, our conditioned being, is in a sort of reactionary state with something, but there's a deeper seeing in whose presence this is going on, but itself is really not participating. Can we see this or not? And gradually, as you become more conscious of this, you'll see that even in full flight of the mind, there's still this inner stillness. Be one with that, you see, more and more. And the way of being one with this is don't register that, don't identify so much with the reactionary behavior, because that will perpetuate the sense that you are still in trouble and so on. Just be the witness more of it. Keep the power back. Don't let all the blood go to the crime scene. All the energy is going to the crime scene. No? Keep it back more in just the witness. And gradually, all that effect will begin to come down by itself. What I'm telling you is totally practical. You must do it. Don't just listen to it. It's not enough for intellectual conviction. You must put it inside, digest, assimilate what you are hearing, and prove it to be true for yourself. You'll see. Then gradually, a great confidence enters the being that actually nothing is troubling me at all. Whether there's actions, reactions going on, it's really, you're not just saying this, by the way, because a lot of people are saying this cleverly, yes, but I'm behaving like that, but it's not me. Okay? I will tell you about this thing. If it's just saying it, it will continue being like this. But if you really see it, that is not what I am, and you keep the energy back in just the seeing, that will change. It has to. It cannot be after 2 years, yeah, it's just my behavior, but it's not really what I am. No, that's not true. It is what you are. It's what you have become. The moment you begin to see that that is really not really the truth, but I'm more the weakness, life stops going there. You stop supplying oxygen to this identity, and it begins to change, transform. It becomes more quiet, and the self comes into ascendance. This is purely it, because two kings cannot sit on one seat. Either the mind is in the chair or you are in the chair. But always you're in the chair, but the mind is sitting in your lap and pointing the finger, execute. You have to throw him out. So this is first part I wanted to, no? Second part of what you were speaking, could you remind me?
Free will.
Free will, speak.
Predestination of.
You say, what is the place, if there is one, for free will? The consciousness also in its expression as humanity, let's put it like that. When consciousness plays as humanity, no? It imbues this form, this expression, with a sense of more free will. It's not totally free will. And nobody can stand up and say, I have total free will. No, you don't. You imagine you do. If you had free will, you would be living exactly the life you imagine you want. Actually, you would not, because you'll keep changing your mind. Actually, you think, oh yeah, I want like this, and then after 2 or 3, no, it's not good. I want like this. And you'll still be as restless, perhaps even more than you are now, about it. We have the consciousness gives a bit of slack, so to speak, in order to have the sense of free will, because it's part of the play. That the most beautiful will is to prevent the attention from going off with the identification. This is a beautiful way of exercising will, because this power you have as consciousness, either when the thought activity arises and is calling you into play, then something goes out, because you as consciousness, you have some tremendous power forces. This power is the power to believe. One power you have is powerful to come out, the power to believe. The power of attention is another one. The power to identify. These are powers you have. When they connect up with the thoughts that arise, the thoughts are arising out of the ocean of the self, and something gravitates, is attracted towards some of them. Even these power, perhaps the most important one is the power of your attention, because wherever your attention goes, it goes out shopping, and whatever it touches registers in you as that is your experience. But also, we sometimes identify so strongly with this power of attention, because attention moves like freedom, it's free will. I can look where I want, through the senses, you see. I can taste, I can do, I can walk, I can move where I want. Yes, in this body. You can do pretty much this. But wherever the attention goes, you say, I go. But strictly speaking, it's not entirely true. Because there's something earlier than the attention that is capable of watching the movement of the attention. The movement of attention is being watched from that inner place, that stillness. This is why you say, oh, my attention is I'm lacking focus today or something. Because something watches that the attention is jumping about. So something can observe the movement of attention or even the lack of attention even. Go back to that place. The minute you recognize that this is possible, that there's something that watches attention, otherwise you could not know anything about the attention drifting. You say, my attention is drifting. What watches the attention drifting? Go to that place, the watcher of even the attention, and see if you can report something from there. So this action of free will, you say, of free will? Yes, of course. In the meantime, don't tell anybody about free will. Let them do. You move in your own freedom. You have the power to dream. You have the freedom to dream. You don't have the freedom or the power to make your dream come true in the same way. Because if you did, then you would not grow in real intuitiveness, in insight, in trust, in love. You wouldn't. You'd be a very selfish creature. When one has transcended all of these limitations, in fact, because sometimes the mind, a limitation is presented like it's a freedom. You see? If I could do what I want. This is really the way of the ego. If I would do what I want. We say in our culture the opposite of love is hate. But perhaps the opposite of love is selfishness. Selfish nature in the ego aspect of ourselves. You see? So it's a good thing we don't have free will. You see? Something in that way, total free will. You have, of course, your freedom, move in your freedom. I don't want to tell you don't have freedom. No, your freedom, move in your freedom. But I'm speaking about something more subtle. Sometimes you have to go through a narrow space in order to find the infinite. And this narrow space, this narrow moment, that moment of seeing, is to learn to exercise authority over your attention. Because the attention wants to go out and play in the field of multiplicity, which is fine for a while. In the teenage years of consciousness, it's okay. But at a certain point, something begins to just to long for more than the momentary. Then there's attraction for something more than the momentary taste. Because intuitively, it's instinct in us to know there's something in us that knows that there is eternity dwells here also. Something in us knows intuitively that eternity dwells within us. That's why we're so angry that, I see people dying, think, I'm going to die, but I know I'm eternal. You don't. So the urge inside is to discover that which frees you from the trap of death,
The power that knows the way has always been operating, right? This power that knows the way.
The power that knows the way is playing. It is the way. It is the way. It actually is no way.
Yeah.
It's no way. But it dreams a journey of a way. The journey of self-discovery. This is the play. This is the play. And it can be beautiful and it can feel ugly. But when you realize where you are, that the moment that you discover who you are, then you are awakened to the dream as it is. And indeed it is a powerful dream. A beautiful dream also, in some way. No? Perfect in many ways. I would say this. But in the moment you see, you laugh because you see, I've always been this. I was saying yesterday, I was saying yesterday to some friends, I say, sometimes the people are speaking and they seem so convinced about something that's happening, and I'm listening. I said, oh my God, look at that. You're so convinced. If you weren't so convinced, you'd be free. You see, I'm so convinced. And so I said, but myself I also used to think like this. And then one evening I went home. I said, I want to get back into this state where I believe like I believe in the eyes of people who I know are dreaming. And really tried very much to kind of remember, bring in some memories and association and some events that occur in the memory that stirred up feelings of resentment or something and tried to get into the state. And you know what I found out? I found out I was never like this. Not just me personally. My being could not testify that you were like this. He says, no, but you've always been like this. You've always been like this. You understand? But you were dreaming you are like that. Then I say, yes. We are dreaming our life story. It's a ghost story. You're dreaming our story. Your identity, who you think you are, your anger, your frustration. Of course, the love is there. Perhaps it's the most real. But some place we are constantly dreaming and reinforcing this dream because we are taking ourselves to be something that is only a conditioning that we picked up, that's not original to yourself. Your original self is not waiting somewhere else. It's right here. You're here also. It's like a cocktail of your imagined and conditioned state combined with this pure being. They are together, there together. When it leans towards the I am the body, mind idea, then all this noise come. When it tilts again back towards just the pure seeing, then again you're again in your natural being and you're supremely happy. We have these powers moving inside. And listen, when I say when that aspect of ourself that is conditioned is in ascendance, meaning that it is the dominant in that moment, then it leans towards the body-mind identification and you're very much into a personal modification and you're more in an aggressive state. When it swings the other way, more towards just the seeing without identifying, then you feel again your natural being. Happy, peaceful, full of love, open, not insecure, not oversensitive, but sound and present, you see. But listen to this. This or this are both seen. Be one with that in whose presence this and this is seen. There's nothing to describe there. It's a wordless, concept-free place. How many steps will you need to take to arrive in this place? How many millimeters, how many meters, how many feet or inches must you go to be in this place? See? All that happens is somehow an illusory distance or a gap falls away. An illusory, the idea of a distance, a separateness, this idea drops away. Where have you moved? Where have you traveled, you see? You don't need to go anywhere to discover what you are. Outwardly, your body may have to move in time and space to come to India, to be reminded maybe, to be pointed to that which does not move, does not change.